This is Vovtchansk in Ukraine's Kharkiv region. It's only a few kilometers from the Russian border. This footage, filmed on May 11th, 2024, shows homes struck by the Russian army. Moscow had targeted multiple Ukrainian infrastructure that day, like bridges and factories. In one day, the Russian army dropped 20 bombs onto this village in Vovtchansk, according to Ukrainian authorities. To bomb as fast and as widespread as possible, the Kremlin uses special weapons. Glide bombs. How are they made? And why is Moscow using them so much? Le Monde analysed dozens of videos and interviewed military experts to understand why these rudimentary machines pose a serious problem for Ukrainian defence. The Russian glide bomb is actually a combination of two weapon systems. The first is a simple, unguided, airdropped bomb. The Kremlin has a lot of them, and its stocks date back to the Soviet era. This Russian arsenal is made up of a range of bomb models. The Fab 250, which weighs 250 kilograms and carries 100 kilograms of explosives. The Fab 500, which carries 210 kilograms of explosives. And more recently, the Fab 3000, which weighs almost 3 tons. These unguided bombs, dropped from the air, do not have a very long range. To increase its range, the Russian plane has to raise its altitude. But it's a risky move. Ukrainian territory is almost entirely covered by air defense systems. This is where the second component of the glide bomb comes in. Guidance kits, or UMPK, using its Russian acronym. Developed around 2003, this kit is made up of a satellite guidance system and small metal fins. The UMPK costs about $20,000 a unit. The system transforms the simple bomb into a much more precise weapon, with a greater range. The impact on the ground is devastating. By transforming its Soviet arsenal of unguided bombs into highly accurate weapons, Russia's Air Force built up a large stock of effective ammunition, meaning it can carry out large-scale aerial bombing campaigns. Like on Avdiivka, a town that long remained under Ukrainian control in Donetsk. In winter 2023, for weeks, Russia pounded Ukrainian soldiers who were entrenched in shelters. A Ukrainian soldier described the bombardment on X.
These bombs completely destroy any position. All buildings and structures simply turn into a pit after the arrival of just one glide bomb, and they drop 60 to 80 pieces in one day.
The next day, the Ukrainian army announced it was withdrawing its soldiers from the town. Many analysts see the assault on Avdiivka as a turning point in Russia's strategy in Ukraine.
This is kind of the first time we've really seen the interplay between Russians using this system to support ground operations. They'd conduct devastating glide bomb strikes, essentially flatten areas of Avdiivka, and then allow infantry units to maneuver through the destruction.
On top of satellite guidance, the UMPK kits feature fins, which increase the range of the bombs. So Russian bombers can remain outside of the perimeter of Ukraine's anti-aircraft system.
The typical range of glide bombs, depending on what kit they're equipped with, is between 65 to 80 kilometers. And Kharkiv Oblast is directly on the Russian border. So what we've seen is that Russian aircraft are launching these glide bombs from within Russian airspace. They don't even have to cross into Ukrainian airspace to conduct these really devastating strikes.
Faced with this threat, Ukraine might have found a solution. Under pressure, the Ukrainian military first tried to target the planes carrying the bombs. But there was a problem. Thanks to their increased range, the Russian bombers were hard to target.
І вони робили каби, які працюють на більшу дистанцію вже. Чому? Тому що на цій дистанції, на якій ми збивали їх носії, вони зрозуміли, що треба не заходити так глибоко до нас. І тому вони зараз збільшили відстань. І ми повинні збільшувати системи протиповітряної оборони, які далекобійні.
Here, the Ukrainian president is referring to Western systems such as the Patriot, which, with a range between 60 and 160 kilometers, can shoot down the Kremlin's aircraft in Russian skies from Ukrainian territory. Ukraine's other solution is to destroy Russia's planes before they take off from their base.
So the most consistent and effective way possible is to just take the aircraft down. So not just the physical aircraft that are delivering the bombs to the front line, but the nodes where Ukraine has identified these are where the bombers are kept.
This technique involves using weapons supplied by NATO countries to strike directly on Russian soil. A practice long banned by the West until the end of May 2024.
Over the past few weeks, Ukraine came to us and asked for the authorization to use weapons that we're providing to defend against this aggression, including against Russian forces that are massing on the Russian side of the border and then attacking into Ukraine. That went right to the president, and as you've heard, he's approved the use of our weapons for that purpose.
In the winter of 2024, Ukraine finally figured out a solution that seemed to work, jamming the satellite guidance system for Russian glide bombs. By using the so-called Lima electronic jamming system, Ukrainian engineers combined electronic jamming and cyber attacks directly on Russian glide bombs with UMPK kits. In February 2025, this Russian Telegram account, widely followed for its news on the war in Ukraine, claimed,
"The Ukrainians, like our soldiers, have learned to use portable and mobile electronic warfare systems. These systems have been set up along the front line and have made it impossible to guide bombs, not just UMPK kits, which work thanks to satellites."
The same source said that it would now take 8 or even 16 glide bombs to hit a single Ukrainian target.